Welcome back to terrible lighting. I feel like this is like a Fast and Furious movie, like it's terrible lighting 8. Hey Manic Fam, telekineticManiac here, or Mad Dog. Once again, that's my name. Today we are finally moving on to my how to pose for cosplay photos practical cosplay video. And I know I initially said back when I made my basic cosplay photography video that I was going to also do photo shoot etiquette in this video, but since then I've kind of decided that that video is a video in and of itself. So for now I'm just going to say, please respect your photographers. They are doing so much to make you look so good. Just please give them the respect they deserve. And yeah, look forward to that video whenever it comes out. So yeah, although I cannot tell you everything that you need to know about specifically every little pose you might ever do, I can tell you quite a bit about how I come up with my poses and things that I think about during photo shoots to make sure that I can look the best that I possibly can. Because essentially if I can do these things on my end, I trust my photographer to do the rest of the magic. So first up is how I come up with my poses. When I first started posing for cosplay photography, I essentially just looked up reference photos constantly. Because although coming up with poses may seem simple at first, it's kind of hard coming up with something original sometimes. And although Canon reference photos, which is what I'd recommend for beginners to look up, can be super easy to find, also, every cosplayer who has cosplayed that character and had a photo taken of them will have used the Canon shots at some point or another. Just a little tidbit to think about if you want an original pose. So instead of just looking for Canon references, here are some ways that you can find original poses for your character. The first way is looking up fan art for inspiration. This is the method that I see most cosplayers flock to, and it is a tried and true method. However, if you're going to recreate fan art, be sure to ask the artist for permission first and to credit them when all is said and done for your pose inspo. The second way, oh my god, there is something in my eyeball. The second way to find poses is to look up references of people in similar situations. In my Aresia vlogs from way back at the beginning of this year, I made a remark about how I was looking up cafe-free fan art to find poses for me and Haley's Anteku Tokyo Ghoul cosplays, and not mentioned in that video, later on we just ended up looking up people in cafe scenes. And that's because we weren't entirely happy with the Tokyo Ghoul specific fan art that we had prepared as pose inspiration, so we used our knowledge of the characters and their job to find more interesting poses out of a situation that they could be in. And the third option to finding poses kind of builds off the first two, and that is to method act to find poses. It is the most difficult of the options, but if you channel your character and like run through a scene, a pose may very well come to you. And bonus little tip here, if you're doing that and feel like you're really channeling your character quite well, but you just have no idea when to stop moving through the scene and actually pose, have a friend watch you act. That way, when they see a movement that's really interesting, they can call it out to you and you can turn that into your pose just like that. So that was a pretty quick explanation of how I find my poses from easiest to hardest methods around. And now we're gonna move on to see how you can make those poses look the best that they can be. Because although your photographer will do the photography magic, I need to stop doing that with my hands, and make the scene look the best that it can be, there are definitely things that you can also do to make the scene look the best that it can be. The first thing that you can do, way before you even get to a shoot, is figure out how comfortable you actually are posing. And that's gonna mean a different thing for each and every one of you, because everyone has a different level of body confidence. Some people will only be comfortable with posing from certain angles, and others may want to be framed a certain way, and others still will be fine doing literally anything in front of a camera. No matter how comfortable you are with your body, it's always best to figure it out before you get to a paid photo shoot, because if you know your comfort zone in advance, you can always request certain things of your photographer, instead of going through the whole shoot and getting a bunch of photos back that you're just like, wow, I really don't like how I look in these, and I'm just not posting them anywhere. The second thing that you can do long before the shoot ever happens is get some basic modeling techniques under your belt. This doesn't mean that you have to become a supermodel overnight, but looking up basic modeling techniques, especially those similar to the mood that you're going for in your paid photo shoot, can be super helpful. One of the biggest problems that I face when I'm behind the camera is losing people's jawlines in a photo. So many people relax their necks so much in a photo shoot that their necks kind of just morph right into their chin. And for specific tones in a photo shoot, especially when you've worked hard making a really sleek outfit with a really contoured jawline, that can be really frustrating to see in your photos. So if I know that my client's jawline matters to them, I always remind them to kind of sillily jut their chin out, because the exaggerated motion will get rid of that chin neck morphing thing. That being said, photographers can't teach you every little bit of modeling on the spot during the photo shoot. And if the people that I worked with had mastered basic modeling techniques before they had come to me for a photo shoot, we could have focused a lot more of our time on making the shots more interesting than just making them clean looking. So there are many, many, many great modeling tutorials out there for you to consume, from how to exaggerate movements to make them look better in photos, to how to get the perfect hip swing side to side without falling over in your heels. And I totally recommend learning a few of them before you go to a photo shoot. And the third thing that you can do to make sure that you look the best in a photo shoot is check your costume and makeup before you do the photo shoot. And sometimes during the photo shoot. Trust me on this. The last thing you want when you get all your pretty photos back is to notice that your costume is out of place, or worse, broken on your body. Well, at least for me, that's an absolute nightmare. I would never want to go out of my way to work with a photographer, have an amazing shoot, and then get the photos back and realize that I'm a complete idiot and didn't notice my costume was broken. And then just like never post photos of the shoot anywhere. That would suck. So here's a reminder. Although photographers are really helpful and they may notice things that are out of place in your costume, they do work with a lot of other people, and they can't be expected to know exactly every little detail of every single cosplayer's costume. So do them and you a favor and turn that selfie cam on, check your costume, check your makeup, and make sure you're good to go before starting a photo shoot. Sometimes you may also need to check your costume and makeup during a photo shoot. For example, if you're doing a really dynamic movement that your photographer is trying to capture and you're afraid that it's moving your costume around and messing things up. But please don't just waste you and your photographer's time, and keep these checks to a minimum. And the final thing that I'm going to recommend is do not forget about your expression. While trying to remember every little thing about your pose and every little thing about how to make it look the best that it possibly can, it's super easy to forget about your facial expression. I, for one, am the worst with this. I almost always have a straight face in photos because I'm focusing so hard on if I'm doing the pose right, but even though for some characters it works, for most characters it really doesn't. And it kind of really detracts from all the work that went into the rest of the photo. So I'm currently trying really hard to get better at that, and I recommend that you put some effort into your facial expressions as well. After that, just have fun, guys. I've always found photo shoots to be amazingly fun because you get to really become the character when you're doing them. For me, it's the thing that changes me from just running around in costume into the character that I'm cosplaying as. And I find that to be so cool. So enjoy the experience while it lasts, because I don't know about you, but I can't do photo shoots daily. That's like a lot of money, man. And yeah, I'm thinking that's about it for this video. Cosplay photography etiquette will be coming maybe at some point. Like I keep saying, request the video if you want to see it, and request other videos if you want to see those too. I know that Practical Cosplay is the thing that I take— oh, I almost just fell over. It's the thing that I take the most requests on, and I do pretty much exactly what people are asking of me. But I'm going to take this opportunity to remind you that if you request other videos that aren't Practical Cosplay, I might do those too. But yeah, there is more Practical Cosplay coming, more work vlogs down the road, and definitely more convention vlogs somewhere along the line. So if you liked this video, totally like and subscribe if you haven't already to see more of my videos. And yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm gonna go back to working on my Harley Quinn armor. And if that's a surprise to you and you didn't know that I was working on that, you should follow me on Instagram. That was just like self-promo that I didn't even mean to put in. It was like extra self-promo. I guess that's it for now, Manic Fam. I will see you on the con floor. I like stood on one leg during the entirety of this video and fell over like 12 times. I'm so sorry for you guys watching. You're just like, why are they swaying side to side? That's because I'm an idiot. I'm just standing on one leg.